Episode 45.
Just something to take the edge off.
It's not bad.
Aren't they like not allowed to call it chocolate milk? It's just chocolate drink.
It's not chocolate milk. It's way thinner.
Chocolate beverage. And it's only got 36 grams of sugar.
It is quite sweet. So a lot of people drink Yoo-hoos, though, I feel like. I remember...
I feel like it's the generation above us. They loved the Yoo-hoos.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember one of my roommates in college, he showed up after like Christmas break or fall break or something, and he just had a 12-pack of Yoo-hoos that he brought.
Really?
Yep. I was like, what you got there? He's like, just something to take the edge off.
I feel like
sometimes that's what you need.
Some people smash an entire like dozen of Krispy Kreme donuts. That would be something if you smashed a 12-pack of Yoo-hoos. You'd be getting a buzz, but an entirely different kind.
Like, I think I can feel the cavity.
Yeah, I think I can see sounds.
Dentists are just like, yes, I love you.
Dentists are just watching us. Yes, yes. It's not bad.
You see that kid? He has a 12-pack going to his college. He's gonna be.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him.
Yeah, he's just standing on a street corner. Hey, kid. You're gonna need a little more than just water. Oh no, I just need to hydrate myself.
Yeah, treat yourself.
Yeah, it's chocolate water.
Yeah, chocolate beverage.
I'm pretty sure there's other flavors of Yoo-hoo at this point. I think there's strawberry.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't know if I could do that.
Really?
That'd be delicious.
Strawberry sounds great.
I wasn't a fan of strawberry milk in
Really?
like high school or middle school.
I bet if they had pistachio Yoo-hoo, that would be awesome.
I bet you they got mint. Mint milk is pretty good.
Pistachio is like one of my new favorite go-to flavors for coffee.
That moment when you take a sip of green milk because you think it's mint milk, but it's pistachio milk.
This is delicious. I have been made aware.
Welcome back to the Good Chill Hunting Podcast. How do you like them, Yoo-hoos?
I thought the tagline.
Noah and Riley have both watched a lot of movies this week, so I'll just start with mine. At least I watched 2 movies. I'll just do the first one. I watched The Mummy for the first time.
And Josiah got so scared. He was like, I want my mummy.
No bad jokes allowed on this podcast. Don't speak if you're going to make a bad joke.
He actually turned on the Tom Cruise The Mummy. He's like, this movie sucks.
This is awesome. The start of the Dark Universe is awesome.
Riley
We are
loved
going
this
places.
movie.
I gave it 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
It is good. I also started it really late, and so I was kind of in and out of it by the end. I enjoyed it. Like, it's like a fun adventure. But I didn't find the writing was as like, I don't know if National Treasure, Pirates of the Caribbean, the writing is like smart, but it just feels like clever, even just throughout. And in this movie, I kind of felt like they kind of just moved from point A to point B sometimes, and you kind of were, again, maybe I just slept through the points where they explain stuff. But it felt a little bit messier writing wise. And Brendan Fraser's character, Rick O'Connell.
Yeah.
Not that likable of a guy.
What, did you like him when he threw the chair?
I do like that scene.
Do you like him where he's like, Benny, you're on the wrong side of the river?
Yeah. No, there's just more like, let me guess, spring cleaning? No, there's some really fun scenes. But I just feel like he's just a bunch of one-liners, and he's kind of a jerk sometimes.
It sounds like he's maybe going for the like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I think so. And
that's probably exactly what they're going for.
Yeah, his character is just really snarky and stuff, so it's like, whatever.
What are you gonna do? Go cry to your mummy? That was a good joke. You guys laughed. That one gets a pass.
Yeah. So I need to rewatch. Like, I'll probably rewatch it here in the relatively near future, but I'll give it 3.5 for now. Good movie. Got it on Blu-ray.
You said the dark, like the Tom Cruise mummy, like dark universe. You remember that picture that was circulating?
Yeah.
It's just a really funny little piece of history, cinema history. That they're all just standing there real serious, like
what else was that?
Yeah, they're like, welcome to the future.
It was like Russell Crowe,
Johnny Depp, the girl who's in The Mummy.
Yeah.
Was it just
Penelope Cruz? Was she in there?
No, that girl in The Mummy looks like Penelope Cruz.
I thought Penelope Cruz was in that photo.
I don't know, maybe. But
Javier Bardem. Did you guys say that?
No.
He's gonna be Wolfman, I think.
Nice.
Interesting. What's Johnny Depp going to be?
Invisible Man, I believe.
He just didn't show up.
Hey, where's Johnny at? I'm right over here.
Anyway.
So I watched 5 movies. I'm just gonna combine. I watched 2 Star Wars films. I've been on a Star Wars kick ever since watching Andor because that's really good, really fantastic.
Hey, Riley,
Really hope you're not going where I think you're going with that.
I was gonna say free pass today.
Oh.
Free pass? Can I talk about Andor?
Pass revoked.
Pass revoked?
Yeah.
What?
We've got a whole judicial system here.
Checks and balances.
Yeah.
It's very important.
I was gonna let it go this
I'll give you
time.
the rest of my Yoo-hoo.
I do not want that. Just vibrating.
But so Andor is so good, so I decided I want to continue my journey. I watched Rogue One a couple episodes ago, so I decided to watch New Hope, Star Wars, as I like to call it. Man, like Josiah said, a perfect hero's journey. I watched Empire and New Hope. I think I might like New Hope more now. I don't know.
I have swayed the non-believer.
Yeah, I think it's just so well paced. Like it just moves from one thing to the next, and I'm just so impressed what George Lucas did of setting up this world that is just sprawling with
The whole prequel trilogy spawned from a throwaway line about
Yeah.
the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I think in all Star Wars, maybe my favorite scene is the binary sunset scene when he's just looking at the 2 suns.
And then Steve
I like
Wozniak showed up. He's like, "It's not binary."
I like the scene in
on
Kenobi
fire.
where little Princess Leia is running away from Flea.
Okay, no.
Get back here, little girl.
Back here, just running through the forest. Little girls outrunning 3 grown men.
Nah, we won't talk about that. But the trench run, I think it's awesome. The trench run is I think shot well. It still looks, I think, good for being how old it is. The lightsaber fight, I can't really say that.
Did you ever see? The video's probably like 10 years old at this point, but a fan made
Yeah,
like a fan edit of Ben Kenobi versus Darth Vader in Episode 4.
Oh, I
And it's
remember
like,
that. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like a really action.
it's
heavy.
so good though.
Yeah, it was really good. So at the time, people were like, "Can we get an official edit of this scene?"
But for some reason, George Lucas wants to edit the movies to adding a lot of special CGI to New Hope. I don't know if you guys watched that in a while, but I don't really like the additions. He added the McClunky.
Clunky.
Yeah, you remember that?
No.
That was like the
what's
Disney
his-
Plus when it first came.
Yeah. What's his name? Who Han shoots first?
Greedo.
Yeah, Greedo. Right before Han shoots Greedo, he's like McClunky.
Like they added it.
Yeah.
For what purpose?
You can
don't know.
write George Lucas and ask him.
Fascinating.
But-
I did not hear about that.
Anyways, but Star Wars, New Hope, 5 stars, great movie. And then I would say Empire Strikes Back, 5 stars. I think it's just one of the best sequels out there. I'm just a fan of all the characters in this movie: Han, Leia, Luke.
Boba Fett's very cool.
Yeah, which I was. Tamir Morrison's never was the voice, right? Before a certain time, but he's the voice now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
They retconned him in.
yeah. So I wonder how he
that's
sounded
not
like.
surprising, but
Which that movie must have been crazy when it came out, like the twist of because I don't remember a time where Darth Vader wasn't Luke's father.
I have a coworker who he has a young son, and he said they were watching through Star Wars. He's like, "We're watching Empire Strikes Back next," and he's like, "I can't wait for the little guy to find out." So I was like, "Oh man, I'm going to have that moment with my son. That's going to be great."
Yeah. No,
That's gonna be awesome. I'm excited. I'm happy for
Maybe
it.
you guys can be there, but just like in the back, like watching. Here it comes.
Wasn't that a Family Guy skit? Like Peter leaves the Empire Strikes Back theater, and he's like, "I can't believe Darth Vader's Luke's father," and like people are online like, "Are you kidding me?"
nice.
But real quickly, I love scores, and I made my top 5 favorite scores from the Star Wars. Honorable mention: Battle of the Heroes and Cantina Band. Number 5 is the main titles theme. All right.
Everyone knows that one.
4 is Princess Leia's theme. Number 3, Duel of the Fates. 2, Across the Stars, from when Anakin and Padme are going to like the arena in Attack of the Clones.
Interesting.
And then number 1 is the Force theme, aka Binary Sunset, when Luke's looking at the two suns. So good. It's the best.
I think I've talked about the music from the Star Wars shows composed by Kevin Kiner.
Yeah.
I really like the music. Like, the music from Obi-Wan and Ahsoka is very good. I don't know about Andor.
Mandalorian, Ludwig Göransson.
Yeah,
from
I mean,
Sinners.
it's certainly good. It's not my. I like other ones more.
I mean, Open the Door is one of my favorite scores of all time.
The final 4 episodes of Clone Wars, which are kind of like a movie. The final song, Burying the Dead.
Yeah.
Not really. Kind of a spoiler. Great song. Great.
Yeah.
4 episodes.
I was just doing movies, but if I did TV shows, Open the Door.
We don't talk about.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's Star Wars. Great stuff. Anyways, I then watched Final Destination. I gave that 2 stars. It's all right. So, our lore is in back of the church. We would look up the parental guide on IMDb on all the
Literally during church service.
on all the kills.
Trying to
The preachers, our Father who art in heaven, and we're just back there like, yo, this person gets stuck in a tanning bed.
Yo, they get killed by logs. Crazy.
Killed by acupuncture.
So
My dad would peek his head in. What are you guys doing?
My boys are lost.
I decided to watch the first one. There's a new one coming out next week. So I decided to watch it. It's not that good. It's not as gory as the other ones. Like, this is just very tame.
Kind of like
the kills are not as creative.
The Saw movies.
Yeah, the first Saw movie's not. It's not that gory, but
Well, I feel like with each subsequent movie, they feel like they have to top the last one.
which is crazy because Saw did a 3D movie and the Final Destination did a 3D movie, and they both look really bad. So it's just like
crazy.
I don't really care about the characters. It's a very not that good horror movie. In my opinion. Some people love it. Some people, yeah.
Seems
I don't think you guys.
a real. What was it? 2000, 2002?
I think 2000.
A real product of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I watched The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, Josiah's favorite movie of all time.
Yeah. What compelled you to watch
Beautiful
that?
things don't ask for attention.
Well, someone graduated on Saturday, and I was like, and it would be my 50th movie, so I was like,
in honor of me?
yeah, in honor of you.
Okay. Yeah, I did. I graduated on this past Saturday.
So I was like, in honor of Josiah, I can't give him like a graduation gift because I won't see him, but this would be my sort of graduation gift.
Fascinating. But really, it was a gift to yourself.
Because it was fantastic.
Great movie.
4.5 stars. I really liked it. I said this in my review. I think I love the arc that Walter goes on from fantasizing about being fearless to actually becoming fearless. You know.
I know. Quite familiar.
I got kind of emotional when what's that song called by the artist, who played in the math teacher's class. Not Rocket Man.
Space Odyssey by David Bowie.
Yeah.
You should not have been able to get that from Riley's description.
I did, yeah, from our trigonometry.
Yeah.
High school.
When that song's playing and he decides to go out onto the helicopter. Got emotional. It was pretty good. I think Ben Stiller directs this movie really well. I agree. It's a great movie. I understand why it's your favorite movie of all time.
And that means it can't be your favorite movie. It's mine. Sorry.
That's okay. I do love. Do you know the Matrix reference in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty?
No. Did you talk about that in your Letterboxd review?
Yeah.
Josiah's never seen The Matrix, so he wouldn't have.
Shut up. 3.5.
3 star.
When he gets to Greenland, he goes to that guy with the cars, and he has 2 cars.
Oh, yeah.
And it's either a red car or a blue car.
Right. Well, the whole movie, and he chooses the
red car, which is the red pill.
Yes. Also, the whole movie, it starts very gray and blue, and as Walter progresses through his character arc, where he steps out of his comfort zone and goes on his adventure, the movie becomes more orange.
Yeah.
Like, just in what he wears and, like, the scenery and the environment, and, yeah, it's a cool use of color.
But I also think it's a nod that he chooses the red car because there's no going back, just like Neo.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree. I would say I never took that as a Matrix reference, although I think that's fair. I would say it's just his decision to continue to step out of his comfort zone. Yeah. But anyway.
Clementine cake is like a big thing in the movie.
Yeah.
And one time,
orange.
Kenzie, for Josiah and I's birthday, was going to be like, she's like, I'm going to make Clementine cake, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to make Clementine cake for them. And unfortunately, it did not turn out very well.
It was a very nice gesture.
It was a very touching gesture.
Really appreciate it.
But something about the part of the way you make it is like you grind up the peels.
Yeah.
So the texture was very strange. So who knows if that's what it's like in the movie?
I don't know. It looks pretty delicious in the movie.
Yeah, great movie. Then I watched Watcher, Mike and Monroe, 2012
thriller
movie.
2022.
Yeah, 2022. It's basically like Rear Window, but like modern. Mike and Monroe is really good in this movie. I think it's really shot really well, and a couple shots really got me.
Got you, like, scared you?
Yeah. There's one scene now I'm like, oh crap! Like I was freaked out a little bit, but it's kind of like a misdirection. I would say I'm kind of tired though of horror movies, which it makes sense because guys do suck sometimes. Is like the main female character is like trying to say something to her boyfriend or husband, and the husband or boyfriend doesn't believe her.
Which makes sense because guys do suck sometimes. I can't relate because ladies, if you're out there and you're listening, I'm a listener first.
And I would believe you.
If we were in a horror movie together, I'd listen.
I would defend your honor.
The 3.5 movie.
Nice.
Okay. I watched 5 movies as well. The first one I watched was The Royal Tenenbaums. I gave that movie 4 stars. Wes Anderson, his style is very, very good. Josiah liked the Yoo-hoo. He finished it already.
Oh, I'm the first one.
That's a first. Somehow Riley's been talking this whole time.
Yeah, true.
But The Royal Tenenbaums was very good. I think Gene Hackman, I wrote this in my review. He does really good. Like he's standout. Like just he's a very
fantastic.
You never know what you got till it's gone. Yeah. None of us appreciated Gene Hackman till he died.
Yeah.
Who else is that true for? Will that be true for?
Michael Clark Duncan.
Alan Rickman.
Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, we liked him while he was alive.
I just feel like, I don't know. I felt like we really appreciated him at the end of his life, you know?
Yeah, because Avengers Endgame just came out.
The Five Bloods.
That too.
Five Bloods don't die. We multiply.
But Royal Tenenbaums was really good. There was the one line at the end of the movie, Chaz speaking to his dad, Royal. They have a...
Is that Ben Stiller?
Yeah, they have a very rocky relationship. But he kind of, at the end, he just kind of, in a moment of vulnerability, he's just like, I've had a rough year, Dad.
Yeah, that's what Riley wrote in his Letterboxd.
Yeah, that moment was like, man, that's tender. Then I watched another heavy hitter. Well, more of a heavy hitter. I watched Past Lives. We had that list of edifying movies several weeks ago, and this one really piqued both Josiah and my interest. I gave that movie 4 stars. Royal Tenenbaums 4 stars. Past Lives 4 stars. It's certainly one of those movies where the credits roll and you just are like, and you
take a breather.
Just kind of think about it as you're falling asleep. It just makes you. We really are like the sum of not our decisions necessarily, but our decisions and our circumstances, and when those lead us to where we are, like we make do with where we're at. I don't know where I'm going with this thought, but the movie tells it in a very beautiful way of how she's in the relationship that she's with and not with this other guy, and it just makes sense, and that's the way it ought to be, and you're left feeling like, yeah, like here we are.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like what if, like the question of like what if.
Yeah, because the whole thing is about they have like a romantic interest in each other as kids, and then they move away, and then they reunite, and the guy is really trying to. I don't think he's trying to steal her or anything, but he's just like revealing how much he like thinks about her and feels about her. But she's like in a married relationship and she's very content with where she's at.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of, I mean, and maybe this was in like the review from the list of like kind of sticking to your commitments as opposed to like following your heart or following the sort of flame, this new exciting thing.
Yeah. And it doesn't, I would not say it's like a Christian movie, like per se, but certainly yes. And it's really crazy. The Nora is Greta Lee's character. Her husband Arthur, he has a very like. There's a moment where it's kind of at night, and he just starts talking, and it's a very much an intentional moment in the movie where I feel like he's saying exactly what the audience is thinking, wherein he's saying like, he's like, I feel like I'm the bad guy because here I am in the middle of your guys's what should have been a true love story, and now I'm like the boring white guy who's like getting in your way of that, which is like, you know, that's kind of what I was thinking. And she just is like, I married you because I love you. And you know, there's more to it than that.
You need to watch this movie.
Yeah. And some of the other lines are really good. He says,
no more. I just
like,
I want the rest of it is clean up and played
watch past lives. Yeah, it's a 4-star movie. It's pretty good. Last night I watched 13 Going on 30, 2-star movie. Moving on. Last week I lost a bet. Don't talk about it. Don't say anything
but
hurtful.
Feel free to talk about it if you want. It was a
but if you talk about it, be like supportive,
or don't. Noah kind of got a big head making that bet, so, and you can tell it hasn't gotten smaller since. Put a little bubble effect over your head.
Fathead. So I had to watch Skinamarink after forcing Josiah and Riley to watch it the week prior. I started it, so we watched 13 Going on 30. That ended at 9:00 last night, and then I had to take a shower. So at 9:30, I'm like, guess we're watching Skinamarink. And I started it, and I fell asleep like 3 times. So I had to pause it halfway through, and I watched the rest this morning because it is. Riley said it best. Nothing happens.
What'd you give it?
I gave it 1 star.
Yeah.
So Riley gave it 0.5 star. I gave it 1.5 stars. I admire that there was clearly a vision and that they were trying to do something. It's original in what they were trying to do, but ultimately the end product is boring. And Riley will look you in the eye and tell you that it's not boring. But
I told you so.
It's the most boring movie
Riley was
you'll
telling me
ever
earlier.
watch.
He's like, literally, the bar has changed for movies. He's like, well, at least in Megalopolis, they showed the characters' faces.
Got John Voight's crossbow under the blanket.
Yeah, I think I was hoping, at least before you guys talked about it last week, in my heart of hearts, I was like, I want to like this movie for its just like vision, but I don't.
And that's
Sometimes you gotta call a spade a spade.
Sometimes you gotta call a Skinamarink a Skinamarink.
Skinamarink.
And then Josiah and I watched a 2025 theatrical release. The movie technically released last year, limited, or like a local release, but came out this year. The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Let me paint the picture for us. I texted Josiah if he wanted to come over and watch The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, because it
Are
has.
you following?
Yeah, got it memorized. Because it's got good reviews. It's I think it's 3.5 on Letterboxd average review. People were like, it's classic Looney Tunes. So I'm like, you didn't have any interest in watching it, but me and Josiah, he lived down the road, so like, we want to just pop over. We watched it, and it is not a 3.5 star movie. It is a 2-star movie.
Almost a 1.5 star. Almost gave it the same rating as Skinamarink.
The thing is, it felt like Wallace and Gromit Vengeance.
I was going to say, this is just
like deja vu.
Yeah. Is that ironic that we almost said deja vu at the same time?
Yeah.
Riley's like, deja vu. All three of us did it.
It
doesn't feel... So, my biggest thing is that I don't think it feels... The characters don't feel true to themselves. Daffy Duck is supposed to be a cynical... not ne'er-do-well. Cynical, just...
sarcastic,
butt of the joke, selfish. In this movie, he's none of that. He's loony.
Yeah, his thing is that he kind of goes crazy. They're like, all right, Daffy, time to go.
Be loony. They say loony.
And he just starts literally going like the Tasmanian devil.
And it's weird. It seems out of character. And, there's been Looney Tunes full feature-length films before. Looney Tunes Back in Action, Space Jam 2. But this one, I don't think the typical narrative works where it's like Daffy and Porky are butting heads and Daffy, you always mess things up. But then at the end of the movie, he's like, but that's why we love you. I don't think it works for Looney Tunes characters. It felt shoehorned.
It starts out strong. It starts out, there's almost like different bits. They got like an intro sequence. They got some like, they do like the Looney Tunes sort of intro credit roll. And they do some like, it's almost like it's a TV episode, like quick bits. And I'm like, oh, this is a really interesting direction to take a movie. But then they didn't do that again. It was a one-off. And by the second 2/3 of the movie really are very by like traditional structure. It was boring. I was like, this is not an interesting plot. And
not
funny.
The last 2/3 of the movie, I don't know if I laughed at all. The main villain, spoilers for The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. The main villain, turns out he wasn't trying to blow up the Earth. He was trying to save it because of the Earth's most precious resource, which is boba.
Boba tea. That came out of nowhere.
That's the punchline.
There was no reference to boba tea before that.
Is he like the Moana villain? Like they need to get boba tea to him, and then he like turns into the green.
Yeah, it's just.
I think it's just supposed to be like something that's like relevant. Which boba is?
People love boba.
Do they? I don't think the circles we run.
I think like teenagers love boba.
Yeah, but teenagers don't love Looney Tunes. Old people like Looney Tunes. Like us.
I don't think old people love boba.
That's why it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's very
pickleball
strange.
in there. Come on.
That would be great. That would be a great.
Are we writing our own Looney Tunes movie?
Anyway,
I'm putting Bugs Bunny in it because I love Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, there's no other Looney Tunes characters aside from Daffy and Porky. And I gotta ask, like, why did they choose to make it Daffy and Porky instead of Daffy and Bugs?
probably for licensing.
But they probably had an idea for a story, and they're like, we're going to write this story. If I was an executive, I'd be like, you got to put Bugs Bunny in there. Come on.
Well, I don't understand how it could be licensing.
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't either. I'm just saying, why else do you suppose, unless they had the entire story and then they got to the end of it and they're like, we don't see Bugs in this. We see Porky. Whose favorite character is Porky? Whose favorite Looney Tunes character is Porky?
Not mine.
Not mine.
Whose favorite is Bugs Bunny? Actually, I like Daffy Duck more. Probably.
Mine is, mine's Lola. Lola Bunny from Space Jam. Anyway, we can wrap this up, I think.
There was one funny joke at the beginning, though, where
there's a couple funny
There's
parts.
the one, he was like, well, I guess we've run out of options. We got to do the only thing left. And Daffy's like, wait for a stimulus check.
Yeah. Waiting for a stimulus. Yeah. There's a few funny moments, but like I said, those are in like the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, let us know if you've seen that movie. A lot of people on Letterboxd liked it. So,
yeah, it was disappointing, unfortunately. While I was watching Skinamarink, kind of pivoting here, I it's a dark house. the little kids in a dark. This isn't a dark house. The house is filled with life and love.
In a bad aura, bad juju.
This house, like it was built on an Indian burial ground.
Native American.
We have to do poltergeist. I was watching Skinamarink. It's dark house, little kids being the victims here, and it made me think of a little game called Pajama Sam.
I remember Pajama Sam.
Are you familiar with Pajama Sam?
Not familiar with Pajama Sam.
Like if I say that doesn't ring any sort of bells at all.
I'm just thinking about your brother in pajamas.
And it is free.
Pajama Samuel. But I feel like some of our 26 to 32-year-old audience members might be familiar with Humongous Entertainment.
Well, Pajama Sam, there was the one game was literally...
Yeah, it was No Need to Hide When It's Dark Outside.
Yeah.
I think is the name of it. And it's all about how darkness steals his socks or something. But Pajama Sam has to confront darkness and they end up being friends at the end of it. While I was watching Skinamarink, because you're just kind of alone with your thoughts, I was thinking of Pajama Sam and No Need to Hide When It's Dark Outside. And I was like, that game was fun. We played that a lot growing up. And it was just got me thinking on the other Humongous Entertainment games.
Putt Putt. Freddy Fish.
Spy Fox.
Any of that doing anything for you?
Did you have a computer growing up?
We had a calculator. We had one of those Casio printing calculators.
The only computer games I remember is like that Lego game.
Oh,
Lego
Island Racers.
Yeah, we had you're like a pizza delivery guy, and then you went to different worlds. You did fencing as a knight, and then you went to a different world. You remember that game?
Nope.
I remembered the idea of the game.
That game I love that game.
No, all we had was there's Pajama Sam, Thunder and Lightning Aren't So Frightening. Pajama Sam,
You are what you eat from your head to your feet.
From your head to your feet. Those games were really creative and cool. Putt Putt Saves the Zoo. I do remember going over to friends' houses and they were like, hey, you want to play this? And we're like, no, we want to play on your computer and play Putt Putt.
Story of Noah and Josiah. When we were real young, we went to a friend's house and we played a Sesame Street game on their desktop computer. And that's just like all any 4 or 5-year-old cares about. Computer games and Sesame Street. And it was awesome. And we get back home and we were sad because we didn't have the game. But we had a computer. And so what we did is there was a magazine with an ad for the game. So our primitive little minds...
We put our heads together.
Ripped the page out of the magazine, cut it into the shape of a compact disc, and put it into the disk drive of our computer. And then it was like... and our dad was like, what the heck is happening?
Why do I smell smoke? Where it's like, well, maybe just eject, maybe put it back in.
Suffice it to say, the game didn't work.
What I like about, not like PC games, but something that you guys stir my head is the like special effects games on movies. Remember the games they had in like...
Are you talking about Shrek 2 Far, Far Away Idol?
Yeah.
That's like the only one that comes to mind.
There's others.
Featuring Simon Cowell.
I don't remember them a whole lot, but there were others.
I feel like actually when I watched Pirates of the Caribbean here recently, they had the... what's it called? It's just called Pirates Dice. I think the game...
Liar's Dice?
Liar's Dice. I think they had a little feature of that on the Dead Man's Chest.
They had a couple games on like Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter. I remember playing.
He was pointing the remote at the TV, just watching
so
Simon Cowell step out into the stage.
Yeah.
You're like, this is quality entertainment.
I love this.
But also, do you ever play the Jumpstart games? Because when I say Jumpstart first grade or Jumpstart third grade, that doesn't do anything for you.
Don't remember any of that.
Well,
I blocked all that.
I mean, that was like a whole series of games that we owned some of them, but Josiah and I would be like, Mom, Dad, can we go to the library so we can play Jumpstart?
That's right.
And they took us to the library, and you could rent the Jumpstart games and play them on the computer there. And so we would play those for like 2 hours straight, and Mom and Dad would go and read a book or something.
I forgot about that. That's great.
It was awesome, and they were educational. They were
That's
like,
why Noah and I are so
here's
smart.
a little word called phonics. Here's a little thing called arithmetic. And then Josiah got a
Logical reasoning.
32 in the ACT or something.
We already said that last episode.
That means we got to bring it up next week again. The Jumpstart games were great.
Ask me what I got.
What'd you get on the ACT?
I don't remember. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not saying.
I do remember.
But yeah, we spent a lot of time playing those Jumpstart games. I don't know. I was watching Skinamarink, and I thought of
The I Spy games. Those were about as
we had
by the book, literally. As
well,
I
we
Spy
had the
books were.
schoolhouse one,
Mm-hmm.
but then there was also like a haunted house one,
You ever read the I Spy
and I think there was
books?
one that was like pirates.
Mm-hmm. I remember the I Spy books.
It was just it was like an interactive computer.
Yeah,
game.
I read books as a kid. I didn't play stupid.
We would
computer games.
like
You read all your books when you were a kid, so you don't have to read anymore as an adult.
we would speed run those I Spy games because we just played it so much, and you start memorizing where things are.
Yeah, I remember it was asking like one of the things you were supposed to spot was like the thorax
Yeah, I remember
of a
them.
bee. I'm like, what is a
The
thorax?
I'm allergic.
would be the body department right above the abdomen, so it must be this. Correct.
Well, what we would do is you would just
Yeah,
down
it
one
was
pixel.
it's a grid.
Yeah. We gotta get there eventually. The Tonka games.
We had Tonka was our 6th birthday party theme.
You were probably
Mom
into that.
Mom made a chocolate cake with a little crushed up Oreos as the dirt, and then a little Tonka truck on top.
You guys are minds are steel traps.
You know what? You will remember. This was a little bit older. Millsberry.
Millsberry.
You don't remember Millsberry?
Millsberry was.
I thought that was huge. That was huge. Like at school, like playing it on the school computers. It was like the cereal company.
General Mills.
General Mills. Yeah. They just had an online world, kind of like Toontown.
You had a little avavar. You could buy clothes.
Yeah, were you
for-
like an animal or something?
That's Webkins.
Webkins.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
What is this conversation ending?
Like, I thought this was a movie podcast.
You won't let me talk about TV.
Millsberry was, that had a real stranglehold on our elementary school. So I remember just our older brother Sam had like a baseball game. So we were at like the baseball park, and it was just us and some of the other local crowd. And we're just
Backyard
like,
baseball. That was a classic PC game.
There you go.
that's humongous entertainment as well. Thanks for bringing us full circle, buddy. You're welcome. Contributing member of this conversation. But I just remember standing around in a circle. We're like, so what's your high score for the Tricks Rabbit game?
Yeah, for the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, it was
game.
like a bob and weave.
Webkins,
RuneScape. RuneScape's still a thing.
old school RuneScape.
Old school RuneScape is a really fun game. Riley, what'd you get on the ACT?
Less than Josiah.
Really?
Well, thanks for indulging me though. That was just.
We're cutting this out, right?
No.
Why is this episode 35 minutes long?
Computer games.
Computer game? No, it's not.
I
a
mean,
PC.
that kind of goes along with analog horror, 90s, Y2K, online, or just computer games.
It's all connected.
Andor. Let me tell you about Andor.
There's a little bit of Star Wars coming up here for you.
Woo.
It sounds like you've studied more than Noah. We are
I didn't know what the game is.
we are seeing the return of a classic, Last Man Standing, on the Good Chill Hunting podcast. Historically, you guys are pretty. Well, actually, I feel like historically Riley's better at these because Noah gets to be like, I'm not good at these games where you have to think on the
The
spot.
pressure. But Pressure makes diamonds. Come on.
That
Sketch.
yeah.
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? So I got. For those of you who haven't seen Last Man Standing before, it's very straightforward. I have a prompt. Noah and Riley have to say a movie or something, actor, what depending on what it is, that fits the prompt. The two rules are that you have to say an item, and you can't repeat an item that's already been said. You have to say an item that meets the criteria, and the last man standing wins.
And I intend to.
So the first, I don't know how many I got here, 7 or 8. First one, wait.
Paul Sheldon novels.
Child. That's the only one I know. Is Child's 2?
We'll say Riley starts.
Ooh.
Because
Why?
Riley got the short end of the stick with that last conversation.
Yahoo!
He won the game last week.
That's true. First prompt is Paul Thomas Anderson movies. PTA. Riley, the floor is yours.
There Will Be Blood.
Licorice Pizza.
Wow. The Master.
Phantom Thread.
Punch Drunk Love.
Punk Dunk.
Punk Dunk Lump. Boogie Nights.
Shoot.
How many are there?
There's really not that many, but there's still a few more that you guys would reasonably know.
No, that's
there's
Scorsese.
I'm so glad Riley started.
Does the Leonardo DiCaprio movie count? That's coming out?
No. No, we'll say no. What's that one called? One Battle After Another?
Yeah.
That looks fun.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you, Sensei.
And I gotta cut you off at some point. So we'll say 5, 4, 3, 2.
Magnolia? No, Magnolia's not one. Is it? Magnolia.
You literally got that one.
Let's go.
What's Steel Magnolias? Is that a different movie?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Or that's like
I thought that was.
I think that's totally something else.
I thought that was Stanley Kubrick. What?
That's Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
There is one more movie that you would reasonably know.
Can I have a hint?
Nope. Yeah, it was written. See if you. Who was it written by? Who's the guy who wrote Infinite Jest? What's his name?
Oh,
something. Three names.
okay. Well, I don't know.
It's Inherent Vice.
Oh.
Is that with Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah.
I think it's Joaquin Phoenix.
What is that? What is that author's name?
I
Wallace. David Foster Wallace.
Yeah, because they made a movie with him.
And Jason Segel.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking of, The Royal Tenenbaums co-written Wes Anderson and Owen Wilson. I thought that was an interesting piece of trivia.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Phantom Thread. I didn't know that was Paul Thomas Anderson.
I did.
Everything else. Yeah, good job, Riley. You won that one. Next one. World War II movies. Noah.
Saving Private Ryan.
Dunkirk.
Thin Red Line.
I don't know if it's considered war. I know it's like
It's a World War II setting.
Okay.
About the Holocaust. Could be about...
Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Fury.
Schindler's List.
Overlord.
Ooh, nice.
Deep Cut. Wyatt Russell. I like him.
What's going on in that church?
Oh,
That movie.
The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
Oh shoot! What's that one that just came out a couple years ago? I can't think of the title. Got to pivot here. There's so many World War II movies.
There are literally so many World War II movies. All you gotta do is think of one.
Downfall.
Yeah, good one.
International film.
Jojo Rabbit.
Probably these like other Hitler movies. Come on.
Unbroken. Angelina Jolie.
Just set during World War II.
Yeah.
World War II setting.
War, or has to do with war. It's attached to World War II.
I don't know if this is, you could say it's attached to World War II.
Well, then I would maybe
But
not say
the Nazis are mentioned.
Are mentioned?
Yeah. Hitler and the Nazis. Like, Oppenheimer.
Oh, yeah, that's World War.
Let's go. Let's go.
What are you talking about?
I thought you were going to say Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade.
Oh.
Riley's like, you activated my trap card.
Oh. No, I can't say it.
There are so many World War II movies.
The Darkest Hour.
Yeah, nice. That's a good one.
Indiana Jones: The Raiders of the Lost Ark.
God darn it.
Riley's like, oh. There are a lot of World War II movies out there, including. I've got one.
If like, never mind.
Okay, we gotta keep
All
rolling.
Quiet on the Western Front.
Nice.
Is that not World War One?
World War II.
Life is Beautiful.
Darn it. Shoot, what's that movie called? Kung Fury. I think.
Kung Fury?
I think Hitler's in it. I think.
Okay, but
He's just a
that-
character.
Not just that Hitler's in it.
Oh, I've
No, Riley said Kung Fury. That is.
I was
that is not.
so I went, Zone of Interest. That's the one that I was thinking of.
Zone of Interest. Yeah, let's see what else. Flags of Our Fathers, Letters from Iwo Jima, Enemy at the Gates,
Oh, there's Clint
Empire
Eastwood.
of the Sun, A Hidden Life. Yeah. The Book Thief, Imitation Game, Hacksaw Ridge.
Ah.
Not 1917.
Yeah, that's World War One.
Maybe
hoping you would say that.
Maybe All Quiet on the Western Front is World War One.
No,
It might
I
be.
wouldn't have said that because I'm
War
smart.
breaks out in Germany in 1914.
Which one?
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah, I was pretty certain.
I just using Google's AI for World War II movies, so that goes to show how much we can rely on artificial
It
intelligence.
goes to show that.
So
Josiah-
is Raiders World War II?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they talk about Nazis, then it's World War II.
Okay, so you definitely won that one.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I won it twice.
Number 3, Riley starts actors in Tropic Thunder.
Tom Cruise,
Ben Stiller,
Matthew McConaughey,
Jack Black.
Jay Baruchel.
Robert
Why are you
Downey Jr.
starting with all the deeper cuts? Why wouldn't you start with?
I don't know.
Sorry,
Bill Hader,
Nick Nolte?
Tobey Maguire,
Danny McBride.
Darn it. Oh.
Right, it's like, don't cry on the podcast.
there's 2 that you would reasonably get,
It's
or a
the
few actually.
freaking Percy Jackson guy who plays. What's his name? I think it's Jackson is his last name.
What is his name in the Percy Jackson?
Grover.
Grover. This is a pen. This is a pen.
Are there any girls in this movie?
5, 4, 3.
You say Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller.
Said Ben Stiller.
I don't know.
Brandon T. Jackson. But yeah, Steve Coogan would have been
Oh,
everyone else. I mean, I feel like Jason Bateman and John Voight get like the real quick cameos. Martin.
because they
Lawrence
have their like Hollywood.
at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next one. So Noah's 2-1. What?
Nothing. Next prompt.
Next one. Studio Ghibli movies. Noah.
The Boy and the Heron.
Spirited Away.
Howl's Moving Castle. I'm going to be upset if I don't win this one.
Princess Mononoke.
Grave of the Fireflies.
My Neighbor Totoro.
Ponyo.
Grave of the Fireflies studio? Keep going.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
You need to stop down.
I
It's
might.
the Google AI.
That might be the only ones I know.
There's one big one.
Howl's Moving Castle, Grave of the Fireflies, Spare Away. I'm drawing a big blank.
There's. Can I?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yeah,
There's
that's-
Mr. Cat Returns.
How do you know all these?
Because
He's a big old dude.
guilty as charged. I've only seen 2 of them.
Yeah,
I've seen Boy in the Heron.
I just don't know how you remember Kiki's Delivery Service.
There's
I think that's like a pretty popular.
Earwig and the something. That was like
And
their
the Witch.
Earwig and the Witch. That one is like a 3D anime movie that got really bad reviews.
Right, Noah's 3-1. Next one. Okay, prequel trilogy Star Wars characters who die in the movies.
prequel.
Yep.
Who die in movies?
Who die in the prequel trilogy.
But like if they come back, that doesn't count, right? So like, I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna do Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
Doesn't count. I win.
He doesn't come back.
He comes back in the Clone Wars.
As
Padme.
a ghost.
Padme.
You're breaking my heart, Anakin.
Oh, not. Oh, what's her name?
There are so many
Riley, you
characters who
watched the
die.
wrong Star Wars trilogy this week.
Yeah. You didn't study.
Jango Fett.
Mace Windu.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Plo Koon.
Count Dooku.
Kit Fisto.
Oh shoot, I'm drawing a blank on her. Luminara.
He watched the Clone Wars, and I didn't.
We're talking about the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, but he knows the characters. What's her name?
You got Plo Koon and Kit Fisto. Don't just think of Order 66.
Yeah, I
Other
know.
Characters die.
I'm thinking. Darth Maul dies in Phantom Menace.
I grant Darth Maul.
Yeah, I was thinking that was a big one. Ayla Sakura.
That's probably the one who you're thinking of.
No, I'm thinking of what's her name? Gosh darn it!
Anakin's mom.
Yes.
What is her name?
I can't remember either.
Like, I forgot about her.
Oh,
It's not Sheev because that's Sheev Palpatine.
like Shimi. Sushimi. Shmi.
Shmi.
No, that's from Peter Pan. It's like something like that though.
Shmi.
Shmi Skywalker.
Coyote Mundi.
Technically, Anakin Skywalker dies.
Who? He becomes reborn as Darth Vader.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Padme's bodyguard.
Does she die?
His name.
Captain Panaka. I don't think he dies.
General Grievous.
Didn't think of him.
Any other Order 66?
We just got done talking about how he's one of the coolest character designs.
Yeah.
I don't actually know if Luminara's in the movie.
She's in. Yeah, she gets killed.
You see her die in Order 66?
I think so.
I don't know who Luminara is.
She's a Jedi.
So I might have won.
Django, Count Dooku. Luminar. Yeah, I think she dies as part of Orders.
She does die as a part of Order 66, but
Yeah,
she's
in the
shown
movie. On like the Speed Racer.
That's not. Is that her?
I think on the Racer.
It might be someone else.
Jamie, can we get a fact check on Luminar's death scene in Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith?
There's no on YouTube.
Coyote Mooney gets shot. Plo Koon gets in the fighter.
Yeah, I don't think she actually is in the movie.
Let's go.
You're still in it.
I'm a team player. I called myself out.
Shut up. Okay.
3-2.
Yep. All right. Florence Pugh movies. You start.
Midsummer.
Thunderbolts.
Oppenheimer.
Black Widow.
Fighting with My Family.
Something you didn't know that. A Little Woman.
Bum be dum bum 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 be dum.
Oh, yo, this beat's fire.
Bum be dum bum bum. Dum be dum bum be dum bum. Florence Pugh movies.
5, 4.
She does voice work in
3,
something.
2, 1. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2. We Live in Time. Don't Worry, Darling. The Wonder. A few other movies.
Those are not real movies.
Okay, right. That's 3 and 3. Very good. All right. Second to last one. Time travel movies. Movies where time travel is involved. Riley.
About Time.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future Part 2.
Back to the Future Part 3.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
It's in the name.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Great movie.
Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Avengers Endgame.
Do they time travel in that movie? They go to heaven and hell. I don't think.
Heaven and hell are outside of space and time. We're going to count it.
You're the judge.
Yeah, I don't really like it when my competitors question my authority. It kind of irks me.
I was being honest earlier.
You became an
And
android right there.
That means you
Your
get
actual
rewarded
fact.
for Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Bill and Ted have to pass their history final, and to do so, travel back in time. No, wait, that's the first movie still.
Huh?
A tyrant from the future creates evil android doubles of Bill and Ted and sends them back to... Okay, so there's... If he's from the future, sends them back in time travel's involved. Good.
Thanks.
To your turn still?
But yeah.
No, I said Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yeah, but then you
I
something.
said Avengers Endgame.
Terminator.
T2. Judgment Day.
Yeah. I think he's about to flip you off.
Read between the lines, bro. Time travel movie. Peabody, Mr. Sherman.
Terminator 3.
Is that a time travel? I think it is.
I think it is.
What did you say?
Terminator 3.
Is that the official name of it?
There's a third one?
Yeah.
Is that the official name, Terminator
Yeah.
3? And it's about time travel?
She gets sent back. The killer robot gets sent to Sarah Connor's time to kill her.
What if I said Terminator Salvation?
I don't know if they actually do any time travel in that movie. Because it's set in the future with John Connor, unless they send...
Terminator Salvation. Although Judgment Day has in fact occurred, the future for which John Connor was prepared has been partly altered by the appearance of a stranger named Connor must determine.
I don't know. I don't know if they send Kyle Reese at the end of that movie to the past.
I'll take my loss then. I don't...
Okay.
I mean, I could go Terminator Genesis. I can keep going.
Oh, but Terminator Genesis has time travel?
Yeah.
Haven't you seen all the Terminator spinoffs?
Yes.
What's the most recent one?
Terminator...
Dark Fate or something? Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Oh, I thought I already...
No.
Lost.
Oh. Interstellar.
Ah!
Arrival. Time Traveler's Wife. Primer.
Time Traveler's Wife.
Looper. Butterfly Effect.
There's so many.
Predestination.
Project Almanac.
Wrinkle in Time. The Fountain. Mr. Nobody.
Project Almanac.
Meet
That's
the
the one.
Robinsons. Project Almanac.
Meet
Yeah.
the Robinsons.
Midnight in Paris. Click.
Click.
Adam Project. Edge of Tomorrow. There's a lot.
Wait, Edge of Tomorrow's time travel? Would you count Groundhog Day's time travel? Because it's a loop.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Google AI. It's pretty wonky. Okay, last one.
Stupid list.
And there will not be a tiebreaker. Last one, starting with Noah. Movies Josiah has rated 4.5 or 5 stars on Letterboxd.
Oh, I like this.
Riley likey.
Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Interstellar.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Finish out the top 4.
National Treasure.
Let's go.
Doctor Strangelove.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
We are still in the 5-star realm right now.
I was like, there's no more.
I'm very exclusive with my
Well,
5-star
it
realm.
has to. You have to rate it on Letterboxd though, right?
Yep.
Avengers Endgame.
Yep.
Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
4.5.
You didn't say Dead Man's Chest, so I'm thinking that's not 4. I think that might be a 4. Shoot. La 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 la.
La, la,
Oh,
la, la.
Princess and the Frog.
Yep.
Knives Out.
Yep.
Moana.
4.5.
Make way. Mulan.
Yeah.
Has he rated it though?
Yeah, I watched it back in 2019. Gave it 4.5.
Mickey 17.
Yep.
Sinners.
Yep.
You said.
Rush Hour.
4.5.
Oh.
Great movie. I bet you'd be 5 stars on every watch.
I'd love to hear that.
School of Rock.
School of Rock. It's my Ned Schwebley impression.
Shane White.
What's it called? Nacho Libre.
Shane White?
No.
Mike White.
Mike White. Who's Shane White? What'd you say?
You're thinking of Shane Black.
I said Nacho Libre.
Yeah, you're good.
The Room. You gave that 5 stars. I hope. I'm pretty sure you did.
I think I gave it. Let's see.
It's supposed to be my wild card.
I'm surprised you didn't just go with Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
I literally was thinking that before.
Oh, I gave it 4.5. Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Nice.
Iron Man.
Good movie.
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Oh no, you gave the Wild Robot 4 stars. He'll come around eventually. Star Wars. It's a classic hero's journey. A lot of people don't think that, but
I think. Shoot, I don't know. I don't know if I want to be bold. I think you did. I think it was a 4.5. Oh, Oppenheimer.
Yep. 4.5.
my eyes.
Yeah.
The Prestige.
Mm-hmm. Just say a Christopher Nolan movie, you got a 75% chance of it being on the list. Riley's like Dunkirk.
Yeah, I guess I'll just go with Insomnia.
5,
Wait,
4,
wait. I
3, 2.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
No way. I think that's 4. Where did that come from?
Is that-
I think if you like the music.
I think you really like that movie. I thought.
I really like the music.
The action movie's not that good.
I didn't. I get 4 stars.
Darn it.
Shang-Chi. Great soundtrack. Yeah. What did you?
myself.
Princess Bride, The Batman.
This is The Dark Knight.
I've not logged The Dark Knight.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
didn't
why I
say
didn't
that.
say it.
Jojo Rabbit.
Too bad you still lost.
Ice Age, Sherlock
tied.
Holmes. Remember the Titans. Hot Rod.
Stupid, Riley. You're in the moment. You're in the moment.
Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Yeah.
He said right there.
All right. Well, Noah wins today's game of.
I think we
Last Man
tied.
Standing. You just.
Yeah.
Won that one, and
You
then so we both
won.
won 4, and you said there'd be no tiebreaker.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You guys both get participation ribbons.
We're always so close.
Get so far. All right. This has been Last Man.
Are we doing a question?
Nah. Or do we do one question?
For each person.
You are about to become a father. Thoughts? It's been a wild journey. That's funny that I drew that one. A little dated. Being a father is very rewarding, but very taxing. But my son is about the cutest little baby you've ever laid your eyes on. And that's that.
What movie has the best opening? Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, really nice opening on that one. Everyone says The Dark Knight. Everyone says
Inglourious Basterds.
Inglourious Basterds.
Avengers Endgame has a very good opening. They forego the title credits, and it's just Hawkeye and his family when he loses them.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
So does Infinity War. I mean, it has like the like they're trying to communicate like, oh, we just got attacked, and then it starts at Thanos' ship.
I don't remember that.
Invading Thor's ship. It's pretty good.
It's all right.
Some other openings.
I think I went on the record and said Toy Story 3. The intro scene is very good.
Yeah.
That's all of them.
Dark Knight Rises has a good opening. So,
I'm going to crash this plane.
Right.
Yeah.
Read that question.
What is a movie you hate that everyone loves? Midsummer. I hate Midsummer with a passion.
Yeah.
That's probably the best answer. Because most of the movies that we hate, everyone hates.
Yeah, I mean, some people really like. I just sorted by lowest rating. Some people really like Heat.
Yeah, you guys didn't.
That's a classic. Did not like Heat at all. But Megalopolis, Francis Ford Coppola really liked that one.
I was very in the middle with Taxi Driver. Wasn't really a big fan of that one.
The Strangers.
You can go a lot of old movies.
Yeah.
That have not stood the test of time for.
Austin Powers. A lot of people like Austin Powers. I gave it 1.5 stars back in 2019 when I watched it. Did not find it that funny.
Riley thought Skinamarink was pretty good. I didn't really care for it when I watched it.
Riley has a thing for boring movies.
No, that's not the case.
It really forces me to self-reflect.
Watching the paint dry was actually pretty entertaining.
All right. End of the episode. Trivia. The scores is just one. I think I have the first win of of season 7.
That is correct.
Yes.
So today's end of episode trivia is book adaptations trivia. So books.
Riley didn't announce it last week. That means he's
because the mics went
dumb.
Minus 1 point.
Yeah, mics went off. So
yeah, it was a bit of a snafu at the end of the last episode.
All right, book adaptation trivia. 5 questions and a bonus. Stephen King's first book to film adaptation came out in 1976. Noah.
Carrie.
That is correct. Question number 2. Are you Team Edward or Team Jacob? Back in 2008, Twilight took the world by storm. Later in 2012, this popular young adult novel asked a very similar question.
The Hunger Games.
That is correct.
What?
Team Peter, Team Gale.
Yeah.
Who's Gale? Girl?
Gale. Kyle? Question number 3. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Not a book adaptation. But Miles in the movie is assigned to read what classic novel in English class? Josiah.
Great Expectations.
That is correct. And that was later turned into a
I read that book in high school.
film adaptation.
Was it great?
No.
Question number 4. The Lord of the Rings trilogy, considered one of the best book-to-film adaptations, first graced the silver screen in 2001. Its prequel, The Hobbit, began its journey in what year? Noah.
2012.
That is correct.
Let's go.
We buzzed literally at this. I had checked here because I swore I buzzed.
Did you know
first.
that?
Yeah, I would have said. Well, I would have said 2012.
I was almost going to say 2013, but then I didn't.
And Noah wins this. We got 2 more questions, though. This iconic character from a classic novel has been portrayed in over 62 film adaptations and retellings, with the most recent one released in 2014. 24.
Garfield?
That's incorrect.
Oh.
Sherlock Holmes.
That's incorrect.
Yeah.
Dracula.
So I said.
You said 60. You said 64 adaptations.
Over 62 film adaptations. And
You
retellings.
said Garfield.
What was the second half of the question? You explained.
This iconic character from a classic novel has been portrayed in over 62 film adaptations and retellings.
Retail. I don't know. I was thinking of it as like a marketing thing.
I was thinking of the
and it came out in 2024. What Sherlock Holmes came out last year?
Enola Holmes.
No, it didn't.
There was a sequel, wasn't there?
It came out a couple years ago.
The sequel?
There's no way that came out last year.
There's not last year because there's a third one coming out this year. I don't know.
Listen, Sherlock Holmes is a better answer
Yeah,
than
I agree. I agree with you.
Let's not push past that.
He's like, we're on the same page.
Yeah. Bonus. There have been 49 Best Picture winners based on books, making about 51% of all the winners. The most recent one was Oppenheimer. The first one was a war film that also got a remake in a couple years ago. Josiah.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
That's correct.
And what war takes place during that movie?
What
Josiah
is
doesn't know the answer.
World War Z.
World War III. The zombies are back.
The Z's. All right.
I am the best at trivia.
Good stuff.
Good job. All right. What's next week's episode? Trivia.
We're going
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, thank you.
We're doing Garfield.
We're doing Garfield. I was obsessed with Garfield growing up. We're doing 2020s horror.
Ooh.
Horror movies from the 2020s.
Yes.
Riley, I got a good feeling about you winning this one. Let's just say the questions will be weighted in your favor.
Yay.
Riley's going to pick another long movie.
That's true.
I picked 2 shorter movies.
How you know?
I know.
You don't know what I'm going to pick?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Maybe it'll be Skinner again.
Thank you for watching. Let us know what computer games you played on your old desktop
Let us know
computer.
your favorite flavor of Yoo-hoo and why is it pistachio?
Let us know that how good Andor is.
Let us know that and or. Thanks for watching.